The most haunted hospitals in America. Why spirits never left. In the decades or centuries that hospitals have been there, staff and patients have had plenty of time to accumulate stories, some of which are of the eerie variety. Most hospitals that are said to be haunted are magnificent old structures that have long since outlived their usefulness. It should not come as a surprise that many of the locations that are currently thought to be haunted were originally homes to people whose brain diseases were poorly understood because of the long-standing stigmas that surround mental illness. Still, many people in today's world who are interested in experiencing thrilling new things find that hospitals make for interesting places to explore. Several hospitals pander expressly to this market by organizing ghost tours or permitting television crews to film there. Even if the disembodied voices and shadowy figures can be explained by science, it would defeat the purpose of having them there in the first place. Number 5. The Waverly Hills Sanatorium, which is located in Louisville, Kentucky. When a tuberculosis epidemic in Kentucky was putting an undue strain on the state's medical facilities, the Board of Tuberculosis Hospital in the Bluegrass State made the executive decision to expand the 40 to a 50-bed sanatorium it had constructed in 1910. By 1926, the capacity of the sanatorium had expanded by a factor of 10. Patients at Waverly could anticipate receiving a wide variety of therapies, some of which included the implantation of balloons in their lungs and others involved the removal of ribs and chest muscle to make room for expanded lungs. If the treatments were unsuccessful, the staff had access to a convenient 500-foot tunnel that they referred to as the body chute, which allowed them to drop bodies down discreetly so they could be transported on waiting trains. According to many who have visited what is now a tourist attraction, the tunnel region is the place where spirits can be found hanging around today. Additionally, it has been said that room 502 is haunted by the spirit of a nurse. One of the reviews on Yelp said, "We stroll up by there, and I do feel some weird vibes. The hair on my arms stands on end, I get a flushing sensation, and occasionally I get a little nauseated. It's cool." Number 4. The Eloise Complex, which is located in Westland, Michigan. What began in 1839 as a poorhouse and farm eventually developed to include a psychiatric hospital, a tuberculosis sanatorium, and a county hospital. The institution was established in the year 1839. Eloise was a city unto itself, consisting of 76 buildings on a 900-acre plot and sheltering about 10,000 people who were homeless, mentally ill, or in hospital care, in addition to 2,000 staff employees. Eloise was a virtual city since it housed so many people. It also had several support services, such as a power plant, a fire station, and a cemetery. However, the gravestones only had numbers on them rather than names. People who have visited the facility in recent times have reported hearing unexplained groans and screams, as well as seeing a ghostly woman dressed in white. A daring TV reporter went inside the facility, and when she came back, she brought back footage of brilliant lights hovering around her and the crew that was filming her. In 2015, Eloise was put up for sale. However, she has not yet found a buyer who is eager to purchase her. However, if you inquire about hauntings, the individual who is handling the sale, Mike Deegan, would tell you the same thing as he told Stat. "Can't talk to you. Clients rule." Number 3. The Rolling Hills Asylum is located near Bethany, New York. When it first opened in 1827, the Rolling Hills Asylum was known as the Genesee County Poorhouse. The place was reportedly open to habitual drunkards, lunatics, one who by disease, grief, or accident lost the use of reason, or from old age, sickness, or weakness was so weak of mind as to be incapable of governing or managing their affairs. Paupers, a person with no means of income. State paupers, one who is blind, lame, old, or disabled and does not have a source of income, or a vagrant, as stated in an official newspaper announcement from. Everyone who lived there was referred to as an inmate, regardless of the circumstances surrounding their stay. Perhaps this is the reason why the ghosts are becoming so irate about it. Lobotomies and electroshock therapy were also reportedly offered at the clinic at one point in time. Roy, who passed away in 1942, is currently one of the specters who is seen the most regularly. Roy, who was said to have been 7 feet tall in life, is said to spend his eternity as a shadow that is just as tall as he was in life, and he weeps. Another guest who was taking a tour of the establishment reported hearing footsteps behind her, but the flashlights revealed nothing suspicious. After that, she did a second 180-degree turn and took a picture of this. Number 2. Northville State Hospital, which may be found in Northville, Michigan. When it first opened its doors in 1952, Northville was already considered to be one of the most advanced psychiatric hospitals in the United States. Patients might practice playing musical instruments or performing in plays at Northville, in addition to studying trades or working in hospital facilities. Northville was an early proponent of art and music to cure patients. However, due to a shift in emphasis in the 1970s, Northville began a steady decline that ultimately led to its closure in the early 2000s. The tales told about the deserted hospital eventually made it into folklore. As a rite of passage for young people, sneaking into its abandoned buildings was common practice. A tourist even went so far as to create a zany and tongue-in-cheek film in which he promotes Northville's former greatness and welcomes new patients. Another user uploaded several pictures that were taken inside. Many of the people who broke the law by entering an abandoned building in search of ghosts ended up receiving huge fines and having to perform community service instead. However, others have successfully evaded capture and have described Northville's tunnels. These tunnels went underneath the hospital and provided heat and water via a network of pipelines. People who have been within these tunnels have stated that they have felt as though someone is breathing on them and that they can hear footsteps and voices. Number 1. Penhost Asylum, located in Chester County, Pennsylvania. When it first opened its doors in 1908, Penhost primarily accepted patients who suffered from mental and physical impairments. However, similar to other institutions operating during this period, Penhost housed inmates. This term referred to people who were incarcerated at the facility and included not only true criminals but also orphans, immigrants, and pretty much anyone else who had nowhere else to go. In addition, just like other communities of its like, Penhost had its very own power plant in addition to other convenient facilities. By the 1960s, the institution was suffering from overcrowding, inadequate funding, and disrepair. His narrative helped push a movement to improve the way people with disabilities are housed and treated, and it was Bill Baldini, a television reporter, who brought to light the abusive and harmful conditions that existed at Penhost for the children who lived there. Despite this, the establishment continued operational until the year 1987. Since then, Penhost has evolved into a contentious destination for vacationers. Weird NJ, a website dedicated to the investigation of paranormal activity, claims to have recorded audio from within the medical facility that contains the words "we're upset." At various other moments throughout the recording, a woman's voice can be heard asking, "Why won't you leave?" The phrase "go away" or "why did you come here?" is a variation of this theme that is offered by other voices. A male voice is also apparently heard saying, "I'm terrified," which provides an ironic twist to the situation. How was the video? Do you enjoy it? Tell us in our comments section below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates.